And then, let's get cut one ready. And then he has the gall, before he runs off to the Georgetown-Duke basketball game, he has the gall to make this statement. Cut one, go.
But as we work to create jobs, it is critical that we rein in the budget deficits we've been accumulating for far too long. Deficits that won't just burden our children and grandchildren, but could damage our markets, drive up our interest rates, and jeopardize our recovery right now.
That's like a hooker talking about the dangers of sexually transmitted diseases. No, I'm not comparing him to a hooker and diseases. I'm saying it's so absurd that you got to find an absurd parallel to make the point. This is a guy who has done more to destroy the full faith and credit of the United States, done more to destroy the dollar than any president in American history, as far as I'm concerned, talking about fiscal conservatism. We got to watch out for these deficits because our children will be paying. Hey, you jerk, wake the hell up. You're the one who created this. I'm furious. Aren't you furious with what's going on? I am furious with how one president and one Congress can take over 2 centuries. 2 centuries of history and hard work and productivity and advancement and accomplishment and destroy it. And destroy it in 12 months. Never before has so much bad been done in such a short period of time when it comes to our economy that I can think of. But then again, it's not all his fault, is it? No. This has been going on year after year. Trillions and trillions, Bush, and before him, Clinton, right? Wrong. But he says it anyway. Cut 2, Mr. Producer, go.
Now, the fact is, 10 years ago, we had a budget surplus of more than $200 billion, with projected surpluses stretching out toward the horizon.
Stop. I love when the libs do this. And you know what? Before we had Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, we didn't have a $55 trillion out-year debt either. And yet I know Obama doesn't support doing anything to those programs. Oh, yes, he wants to kill Medicare, but only so he can replace it with a more massive, health care system that applies to everybody, whether they like it or not. But that aside for now, let's just make the point. If we didn't have these massive government entitlements, that $55 trillion debt wouldn't be there either. Dummy. Go ahead.
Yet over the course of the past 10 years, the previous administration and previous Congresses created an expensive new drug program.
Stop. You know what's funny about that expensive new drug program, which I did oppose? The Democrats said it didn't go far enough. Just as they say Medicare and Medicaid don't go far enough. Now listen to the idiocy that comes out of this guy's mouth. They want a government-run health care, top-down, authoritarian, iron-fisted health care that each one of us has to accept or we go to prison, ultimately. And he's concerned about the drug aspect of the Medicare program that Bush proposed and was passed. And he has every right to be concerned about it, or we do, you and me, because of the expense involved. But he doesn't, because he wants to take that and give it to everybody, which means nobody. Go ahead, please.
Massive tax cuts for the wealthy.
Stop. They weren't massive tax cuts for the wealthy. Now listen to that idiocy. Every category of taxpayers saw a tax cut. Every single one. Which is why he says out of the other side of his mouth that the only tax increases that he will allow when the Bush tax cuts lapse are for the top 2 brackets. Well, if it's only a tax cut for the rich, then why does he even have to say that? That guy's an idiot. Go ahead.
And funded 2 wars without paying for any of it.
Stop. He's just upset that we had to fight 2 wars. And I don't know what he means without having to pay for any of it. We paid for those wars. What's he talking about? Those wars aren't what ran up the deficit. His profligate spending. If those wars weren't going on, he'd be the biggest debtor president in American history. Go ahead.
All of which was compounded by recession and by rising health care
That's
costs.
enough. I just can't. If you listen too much, his delusions become your delusions. Then we're all delusional. The whole place is gone. All right, we'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
But the bottom line is this. We simply cannot continue to spend as if deficits don't have consequences, as if waste doesn't matter, as if the hard-earned tax dollars of the American people can be treated like monopoly money.
Stop. He's like reading that as fast as he can. Like, all right, I don't have to say this crap. You know, we simply cannot continue to spend as if we had deficits. Now, you heard this guy Clyburn, the number 3 Democrat in the House. The whip, they call him. And I read to you what he said on the Fox News channel earlier today, where we have to spend ourselves out of this recession. The Obama budget is spending ourselves out of the recession. Yes, out of the recession into a Great Depression. But, and he says this is absolute incoherence. To be spending and spending and spending and then complain about spending. Absolute incoherence. Reminds me of the government-run health care plan they were pushing. We're going to cover everyone for anything, no matter what they had, no matter what they have, no matter what they will have. And we're going to be more efficient. But we need to set up these rationing committees, and we got to control costs, and we have to do this. I mean, they give with one hand and take with the other. The guy acts like he's a dictator, some kind of king. He can say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, and he's never going to be called on the carpet for it. Or if he is, then there's something wrong with those of us who do it. Go ahead, finish the clip.
As if we can ignore this challenge for another generation. We can't. In order to meet this challenge, I welcome any idea from Democrats and Republicans.
All right, stop. All right, here's my idea. You resign and take Plugs with you, take Stretch with you, and take Reed with you. Why don't you do that? There's my idea. Leave town. We'll be right back.